Hey dudes, back in the cave here. This is of course your host B.Jr. on B.Jr.'s Movie Cave on the Endurance Productions YouTube channel. Gonna do a basic video here this evening. I want to do my thoughts on video. I haven't done one of these in quite a while. There's been this lingering Friday the 13th goodness that's been going around. If you haven't been tuning in to the Sausage Factory, it's a show that I do with it's like a live commentary show that I do basically with my Sausage Factory brethren. It's on my channel's link on my main YouTube page. Link over to it. We do a lot of shows. I've been absent from a lot of the last season shows, but we're getting ready to start a new season in the next couple months. But we just pick different topics where we talk about in and around movie goodness, nerdiness, basically. A culmination of Earth's mightiest superheroes of movie nerdiness, basically, is what we do. But we did a live commentary of the original Friday the 13th film recently. It was an awesome time, had by all that took part in it. And it was not only the first Friday the 13th in a while, but it was also on a full moon. So it was a very opportune moment to go in there and do a cool commentary with my brethren on that. What I want to do is slow down and do a my thoughts on video today for the Friday. I did a Friday the 13th collection video recently, but I negated to put these in there for some odd reason. I don't know why I didn't. They're technically within the Friday the 13th realm. It is, of course, the Friday the 13th TV show from the 80s. 3 seasons worth of ultra low budget anthology goodness, or anthology-esque style show. Much in the line of Tales from the Dark Side, Twilight Zone, all those kind of weird, amazing stories, weird tales kind of vibe of film. This series, I don't think it's enough notoriety. It's not a great series, guys, and it only lasted 3 seasons. And it's only been released on DVD one time. And I finally got the 3rd season recently. I'm going to do this in an update. Probably show up in an update video coming up soon. But I wanted to slow down today and just talk about the series itself. Let's go back in time a little bit, guys. There was a time in the mid to late 80s when these movies, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween films, they were all coming out like every year. You had something to go see. It was a glorious time for horror, really. But even at home on the small screen during the late 80s, they started cashing in on the silver screen or the small screen, where you had Freddy's Nightmares. It only lasted 2 seasons. You had Friday the 13th series, which did not have anything to do with Crystal Lake or Jason. We all know that. I'm not going to go there with that tired notion, but it was basically, the way I can explain Friday the 13th, the series, to kind of open up into this video, is that this series was what I like to think Sean Connery, that's terrible. Sean Cunningham was going to go with the series after the original, because his intention was just to do this one-off movie. Then if there was a sequel, try to just base it on or around Friday the 13th and just some kind of impending doom anthology series, just some kind of new bad situation happening, some scary horror movie for Friday the 13th. But akin to Halloween, basically, what they tried to do with part 3 in that series. This is kind of is like a spin-off, title-only TV show that came on in the 80s. I was one of the kids, guys. I was one of those kids out there that was bummed as just all it could be. It didn't have Jason in it. You kept waiting for it, and it never happened. I only watched probably well into the 2nd season growing up, and I never watched the 3rd season until recently. I just bought this DVD set, and hindsight, looking back, these DVDs aren't the best quality in the world, but you can view the series again. I'm not sure if they're on Netflix. I like this series, and let me tell you why, guys. I'm a real sucker for anthology series. Amazing Stories is on Netflix recently, and that's what kind of prompted this video in a way, that and the Friday the 13th live commentary I did recently. This little series has never really gotten its day in court, because I watched the 1st season recently, then I got into the 2nd season, I started watching it. I'm in about halfway into the 3rd season now, and I was like, dude, this can go unnoticed no longer. This little series really doesn't get its notoriety because it doesn't have anything to do with Crystal Lake, and it was kind of like the Halloween 3 deal, where it had already taken off, and by that time, if you don't have Jason in it, it ain't working. That was kind of the whole attitude through the 80s and 90s, and it was just kind of forgotten for years. This series, if you think of it as a standalone series, it's basically based in and around a pawn shop where the old pawnbroker that owned the pawn shop sold his soul to Satan, or sold his soul to the devil, whatever you want to, the evil being of the world, basically. And when he did that, all the items in the shop were cursed, and throughout the years they were sold off to different people. And it's about the relatives of this man that come in with some help of an older gentleman, kind of like a historian, that goes in there and basically they spend their time not only running the curious goods pawn shop or pawnbroker business or whatever, but they also go around trying to find these certain cursed items that have gotten into the wrong hands, gotten into regular people's hands, which usually follows the same cue, where it is a cursed item that gives somebody a really great experience to start, but then it takes its toll, and it's kind of the flip side, kind of like the genie in the bottle, kind of jipping them out of their wishes or something. So it's kind of like people get thrown in these really bad situations because of these items that bring them happiness in the beginning, then it always turns bad, and it's about them trying to fix the situation, overcome the situation, something of that nature. So I found myself really, if you look past the bad quality of they're going to be in full screen because it was a shot for TV series. But if you can overlook the bad DVD quality on these, they're kind of real grainy. This series has more than I thought it did. It has more momentum to it as a standalone Twilight Zone-esque kind of series. I really kind of rekindled my romance for this series, really, if there is such a thing for the Friday the 13th TV show. It's not great, but I gotta say that the production value of Friday the 13th the series has got to be at least 10 times better than the Tales from the Dark Side TV show and the Freddy's Nightmares TV show. Freddy's Nightmares did sport Robert Englund in like a wraparound Crypt Keeper role in most of the episodes, but it was so ultra cheap, and that's probably one of the main reasons why they've never released that ever on DVD, like the whole series, because it was just such an uber cheap budget. I knew that even back in the late 80s and 90 when it was on, or 89 when it was on TV. I loved the show, don't get me wrong. I would give certain parts of my anatomy to own that on DVD, at least, even on DVD. But the thing about it is, it was such a uber cheap production value. Same goes with a lot of these other shows that were out around the same time. Friday the 13th, the series, was a cheap budget, you could tell, but there was locations. It was shot mostly in, I believe, in or around Toronto or some sort of Canadian landscape or cityscape. I'm not real sure where. It was in a Canadian production pretty much, but I gotta say, for what it is, it was a really decently written, and some episodes are really piss poor. I can honestly say that, guys. It's not a great, doesn't have a pound for pound. Every episode is consistent. It's not. Tom McLaughlin, who you know from director of Part 6, Friday the 13th series, original from Paramount, he directs a lot of these episodes. I can sit here and name names of people that directed episodes in this. It's really a testament to where we were in the 80s. It was kind of like one of these series, sort of like Freddy's Nightmares, where it was like, oh, okay, I know you, like Bob Shea was sitting around, yeah, I know you, yeah, you can direct an episode, why not? Go ahead, do it. Why not? Just throw it in there like a salad bowl, just a little bit of everything, why not? Fred Molan, who did, I think, parts 7 and 8 of the Paramount films, and maybe the New Line ones too, did the music for this series for the most part. And these are unrated DVDs. I haven't really seen anything over the top. That is leading me into a different idea. A lot of these shows like Freddy's Nightmares and Friday the 13th the series came on later in the evening. This one got later and later, if I remember right, in my area when it was broadcasted. Freddy's Nightmares was on from the get-go to finish like late night when it was airing for its first run. I'm talking like 10, 11, 12 midnight at night because of the racy subject matter, if you want to call it that was in the episodes. These have a lot of the same thing, where there's some blood in these episodes. There's some gruesome special effects. Some episodes have great special effects, and I noticed that some episodes it's amateur hour, wall-to-wall amateur hour. But this is kind of like my little testament to Friday the 13th the series, because I felt bad I didn't really mention in my Friday the 13th collection video, because after getting into the third season and kind of riding on nostalgia for a little while, I feel like it's worth a viewing. If you've never viewed this series, really the only way to get your hands on it is to buy the DVDs if you can find a good deal on them. I'm not sure if Netflix has them on Instant View. They might have them on Instant View. You might want to check it and see. But don't expect much in the quality department. Both sound and picture quality is not that great on these DVDs, but they do the job. There's some episodes. That's why it's kind of a lot like hybrid Amazing Stories and Twilight Zone, because there's some hokey episodes. There's some very, very scary episodes. There's some very psychological episodes. It's, like I said, it's not going to be a groundbreaking experience. And it's not even, like I said, not the best series ever. But it's worth a view if you're a Friday the 13th fan of the nostalgic part of Friday the 13th. If you wanted to know where we were in the late 80s when all these movies were coming out, sequels every year, the heyday, the downslide, if you will, on into the 90s of the horror genre at that point, you would do good to go back and find these kind of anthology shows or anthology movies. Anything that's a testament to the special effects, the storylines, the body count, anything that went along with slashers or horror movies at the time. This show really it's a testament to where we were. They were just like, okay, we got to make a quick buck, just like the beginning. The first Friday the 13th was just Sean Cunningham clearly has stated many a time, he and Victor Miller were just like, okay, we got to rip off Halloween, make it happen. We got to cash in on this TV show stuff that's happening. Okay, well, we'll use the title Friday the 13th and we'll just make it a scary story every week. But we won't say anything about Crystal Lake or Jason Voorhees. That's what this is. So don't expect anything that has anything to do. Voorhees is not even mentioned, to my knowledge, in any of these episodes whatsoever. So it's one of those deals where don't uber nerd out about it, guys. If you just want to see a good old-fashioned, cheap budget, horror-inspired TV show of the week during the time of the late 80s time frame, this is very akin to, or very like Tales from the Dark Side TV show, which I'm a big fan of. I even got a t-shirt for it, but since I was sporting the Friday the 13th gear, and it just kind of spawned the whole idea of this video. I don't know. Tell me if you guys have seen Friday the 13th, the series. Tell me what you guys think about it. Tell me if you think it sucks. But more importantly, tell me why you think it sucks. Don't just say, "Oh yeah, I agree with you. It sucks." Go a step further, guys. This is the thinking B.Jr. This isn't Saturday Night Vlog goof off B.Jr. This is the thinking B.Jr. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear what you really truly think about Friday the 13th series. If you have a favorite episode, what you think about the main character being returned to a child at the beginning of season 3, and they had a new lead character. That was a big deal. See, I didn't notice it as a kid when I was watching this show, but whenever I saw this DVD, I was like, whoa, that's probably one of the main reasons why the show went under. Could be wrong, but who knows? Let's start a conversation, guys. We can't do video responses anymore, YouTube. But what we can do is straight back and forth comments. So let it fly there, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Leave your comments below, and I'll try to respond as much as possible. Rock on and bye.